Welcome to Technolearn Academy. In this lecture, we are going to discuss the select statement. A select statement is used to retrieve the data from a database. This is the syntax for the select statement. In order to apply the select statement, first we need to select the columns, and then we need to select table, and we need to apply the where condition. It is very important to note that the where condition is optional. Select this keyword specifies the column that you want to retrieve. You can specify individual columns or use asterisk to select all columns. From this keyword specify the table or tables from which you want to retrieve the data. Where is an optional keyword that must be met for the rows to be included in the result set. For example, you might use where to filter rows based on a certain criteria, such as specific values in certain columns. Suppose this is my entire table, and from this table I just want to extract the E code. So my select statement will be select E code from table name. And if I have to extract multiple columns like E code, first name, last name, and salary, then I can write down select E code, comma, first name, comma, last name, comma, salary from the table name. It might happen that I need to retrieve the entire table. In this scenario, we will simply write select asterisk from table name. So whenever we want to retrieve the complete data from the table, we use asterisk sign. Let's understand the select statement with a practical example. Okay, here we are. So we are going to access the tables from TechnoDB database. Now, very important thing to notice that whenever we have to start working on SQL, then we need to make sure that we are able to access the right database or not. Currently, we are not accessing the correct database. We are accessing the master database, and the tables which I am going to access exist in DB Techno. We can access this database either from this drop-down list, or we can simply type use database name. Now select the command and click on execute. We can see that now we are accessing the correct database. So this thing we need to make sure that we are going to access the correct database or not. Otherwise, even if your statement is correct, your command is correct, it will not work. It will say that you're trying to access the invalid objects. Okay, now, so I can see that I have few tables over here, and I want to retrieve the data from these tables. If you want to see the column name, then just click on this plus sign and then click on this column. So it will expand the list of all the columns exist in this table. I can see that these are the columns available in this table. Now I want to retrieve only E code from this table. So first I will write down select and then type E code, select column name, and now type from, and now give the table name. So either I can type the table name or simply I can drag the table name from the list of the tables available in the database. So my command is ready. This command will give me the E code from this table. Now, very important thing to note is that whenever we are going to execute any command, then I will have to select one command at a time, right? If we have multiple commands on this page, then we cannot simply click on execute without selecting the command. If we do this, then what will happen? It will execute all the commands, and it might happen that we have written down drop and delete command, which we might discuss in later sessions. So it may drop or delete your objects. So it's very important that what we have to do, we have to select our command And once my command is selected, then only we will click on the execute button. Now I'll click on the execute button, and once I click on the execute button, then you can see that it has displayed the list of all the e-codes available in the table. So this is how we have extracted only one column from this table. Now if I want to extract multiple columns, I want to extract ecode and agent. So I'll write down select, then ecode. If I have more than one column, simply press column, comma, and then give the second column name, which is agent, and from again the table name. You can copy the table name from here, or you can simply drag it, or you can simply type the table name. Don't try to type the table name because it might give the mismatch. So always try to drag the table name from the list of the tables. And now, as I already discussed, we have to select a statement. So I cannot simply go and click on the execute. If I do, then definitely both my statement will be executed at the same time. So I have to decide which statement I want to execute. So in order to execute this statement, I will simply select this and click on the execute button. And now you can see that earlier we just had the ecode. Now we have ecode and agent name also from the tables. And if I want more column from the table, simply just copy this command. Again, type comma, and this time I want function. Why function it is coming in blue? Because it's a reserved keyword. Reserved keyword means the words which is already reserved for SQL, like select, use. So function is also a reserved keyword. So it's better to put in bracket, comma, bill item. And the moment you start typing the column name, you can select it from the drop down also. No need to type the complete name. It will save your time and accuracy also. Maybe you will type the incorrect column name. So okay, so 1 2 3 4 5, right? Now I'll select my statement, and after that I'll click on execute button. Hey, I can see that I have extracted 1 2 3 column from the table name. There is no such order. If you want to change the order of this select statement, we can do this also. Maybe I want these column at the beginning, right, and function name at the last. Make sure that after your last column name we are not using comma, right? So we will only use comma between two columns, right? So once you have written down all the column names, do not try to use comma. Now you can select this statement and click on execute, right? This is the select statement. Select statement is just going to show you the data from the table. It is not going to manipulate the data within the table. Means uh, table the data is still in the table in the same pattern, right? We are just trying to show it. Once this query executed, I have the output. There is no change, there is no permanent change in this table. So this is how we can extract the data from this table name. Now if we want to extract the complete list, or all the columns or all rows, then you can simply use select asterisk. This asterisk means that you are trying to retrieve all the column. It could be 10, 20, 50 or 100 also, or even a single column. If you have a list, just mention the list using the comma. If you do want to extract all the complete column, then use the asterisk sign only. And now say from and use this table name. My first column is date and my last column is sale. So the moment I select this statement and click on the execute button, we can see that we have all the column and all the rows extracted from this table. So this is how we can use the select statement to extract the data. We can give single column, multiple columns, or we can use the asterisk sign to retrieve the data from the table name. It is very important to note that I haven't apply any where clause here. If we want to put a filter on the rows, then we will have to mention the where clause, which we are not going to cover right now. We'll cover the where clause in detail sessions, so we can just skip it. And where clause is an optional parameter. We can provide, we cannot, depends upon the requirement. So I think we have a good clarity about the select statement and we can move to the next topic. Thank you.